Welcome to today's podcast. Today we are going to discuss one of the most controversial claims in modern medicine, the idea that vaccines, specifically the MMR vaccine, may be linked to autism. This claim was originally proposed by Dr. Andrew Wakefield in 1998 and has had a major impact on public health and how people view vaccines. To explore this topic, I am joined today by Dr. Jum'a, who will present the original argument, while I'll be examining the claim using scientific evidence and critical thinking. So let's begin. Dr. Jum'a, could you explain Dr. Wakefield's findings?
Well, hello there, Mr. Abdullah. I'm very happy to be here along with your excellent show in order to discuss Dr. Wakefield's findings. Of course, his study was conducted on 12 children after parental anecdotes, which stated that some symptoms of autism were noticed after taking the MMR vaccines, along with gastrointestinal symptoms likely called to the same vaccine. When you observe a consistent pattern like this, you certainly need to conduct a study. That is where Dr. Wakefield came into the rescue of the medical field.
It may seem convincing, but observing a sequence does not always prove causation. Just because something happened after vaccination does not mean that the vaccine caused all these issues, Dr. Jum'a.
Well, that is a standard explanation, but when multiple parents do report the same finding or the same experience, it is not just merely a coincidence. I, for one, think as a medical professional that it is a point of a trigger. As I might add, a trigger for more research.
But Dr. Jum'a, scientific conclusions require more than patterns. Your study and Dr. Wakefield's study had no control group. Without comparing vaccinated and unvaccinated children, how could you determine whether the vaccine actually caused the symptoms or not?
The control groups are generally useful, of course, but the scientific method is not only built upon control groups. There are some multiple examples of not having control groups, and still the research is fundamentally accepted as a scientific method. As we've seen, these are early observations, so no control groups are necessarily. As a scientific professional such as myself, I don't see any flaw or foul play here.
But without a control group, there is no way to rule out other explanations, such as natural developmental changes or unrelated medical conditions. This is exactly why controlled studies are essential in scientific research. Dr. John.
Well, I for one think that, as I said, the control groups are not only the scientific method analogy here. The large studies such as Dr. Wakefield's or any other studies do not require control groups, and we've seen that they are generally accepted by the public. So I think this is a unjustified bias against Dr. Wakefield.
But this also connects to a logical issue. The conclusions assume that because a symptom followed vaccination, the vaccine caused them, which is a classical logical fallacy. False cause reasoning, Dr. Jum'a.
The logical fallacy it's not seen here. It may mean something else. I, for one, think that the current scientific model is maybe too limited to recognize some intricate relationships, and the scientific model is too broad, in a sense.
Or it could mean that the conclusions go beyond what the evidence actually supports. Autism symptoms often appear around the same age children receive vaccines. That timing alone can create the illusion of a connection. And when we look at stronger evidence, the results are clear. A national-wide study involving over 650,000 children found no increased risk of autism after the MMR vaccination. Additionally, meta-analyses combining multiple studies also found no
I
association.
would like to point out that Dr. Wakefield, Dr. Wakefield wasn't necessarily against the furthermore research. He just proposed a new method of looking out and looking into the deeper intricacies of these relationships. I would actually point out that Dr. Wakefield is a licensed medical professional after all.
Well, that's true, but science relies on reproducibility and consistency, not just small details. If a claim is valid, it should appear across multiple studies and populations, not just in a small isolated group. And excuse me for cutting you off, but if we apply the critical thinking standards more directly, for example, such as accuracy, the conclusions are not supported by reliable data. Precision, the sample size is too small. Relevance, gastrointestinal symptoms do not prove. Significance, stronger, large-scale evidence contradicts the claims, and these standards help us distinguish between ideas that seem convincing and those that are scientifically valid.
Or they could mean we interpret new and emerging evidence. Dr. Wakefield was very, very unjustifiably persecuted by the medical community. So I think this is a bias that the system has, and the system is flawed in nature.
Well, no, they ensure that conclusions are based on reliable and testable data rather than assumptions. Let's talk about the consequences. Your study and Dr. Wakefield's study was retracted, and the medical license of Dr. Wakefield was revoked. And beyond that, the claim had a global impact.
I think Dr. Wakefield retraction was unjustified after all. He was certainly a proponent or a start of a movement of questioning systematic medical authority. The medical field has too much control after all, as we've seen with the vaccinations of the COVID and such. This is a clear and blatant persecution, unjustified persecution.
Well, yes, but his study contributed to vaccine hesitancy, which led to reduced vaccination rates and the return of preventable diseases. This shows how powerful misinformation can be when presented as science. So, what's the final takeaway? Dr. Wakefield's study may have raised questions, as he said, but it does not provide reliable scientific evidence. The claim relies on weak data, flawed reasoning, and unsupported conclusions, while stronger research consistently shows no link between vaccines and autism.
That shows that's incorrect, and frankly, I am quite offended by the hypocrisy and bias in this interview. The debate is not fully settled and should be rebuked and revoked and redone. Excuse me, Mr. Abdullah. I think that Dr. Wakefield has been unfairly persecuted, and his medical license should be reinstated, and she should be respected as a medical doctor. And frankly, the medical field has lost someone great attributed to them.
Well, the debate is fully settled. It shows that scientific conclusions must be based on strong evidence, not just observations. And more importantly, this case highlights why critical thinking is essential. We need to ask, what is the evidence? Is the claim testable? Does it rely on assumptions or proof? Because in the end, understanding science is not just about knowledge. It's about making informed decisions that affect both individual and public health.
Yes, Mr. Abdel. It is noted your concerns, and I frankly agree. But Dr. Wakefield has presented himself as the outlier in this case, where he did what we ought to do as critical thinkers in the medical field, but he was generally persecuted. His evidence, though limited, are still tangible and should be a point of more research.
Well, you could say whatever you want, Dr. Juma, but
yeah, you're probably
the
one of the
time's over.
movement, and I would like to raise my voice on your platform and challenge everybody along with you that to present any other facts and to genuinely critique Dr. Wakefield as a doctor, not as someone whose study was retracted and his medical license was taken away.
Well, thank you, Dr. Jama. And now we're going to move on into the football airing. Thank you for enjoying our podcast, and see you next time.